How's it going, truth seekers, skeptics, and anyone else who may be listening? This is Designated X, the channel dedicated to bringing the very best of the unexplained. And we are back again with an odd, unexplained, and hair-raising account of the unnatural. Real quickly before I start though, if you could please hit that like and subscribe button and share this post on social media or with any like-minded individuals, it sure would help a lot and I'd definitely appreciate it. Thank you all. Alright, let's get going.
Are you familiar with the so-called X-Files?
I believe they have to do with unexplained phenomena.
More or less.
Convention and science offer us no answers. Might we not finally turn to the fantastic as a plausibility?
Logically, I would have to say no.
Okay, so the following account was forwarded to Lon Strickler, who then did some more research on the account before determining it was credible enough to cover. The report reads as follows. I am writing this statement on an incident that occurred on 10 July 2016 at approximately 6 p.m. This is not a hoax. I am not looking for publicity or any such attention. I am not sure if what I saw was a legitimate sighting, and I am more looking for answers to help me understand if what I saw was an actual alien being. So my friend, her son, and I drove from San Diego to San Francisco for leisure on Friday to Sunday. On our way back, we were driving on the I-5 freeway southbound towards San Diego. We were approximately 10 minutes south of Los Banos. Maybe Los Banos? Sorry about the pronunciation. Anyways, the scenery outside was barren, no buildings, structures, or people, just dry, grassy hills and dirt roads on the sides of the freeway. I was actually trying to get some rest when my friend, the driver, said, "What is that?" and pointed to the right side of the road. I immediately looked over and saw a tall figure, about 6 feet tall, in a thick black monk death-looking robe with a big hood. Now this was very unusual to me since it was about 90 degrees outside and in the middle of nowhere. Why would somebody be walking around dressed in a thick black hooded robe in this heat? So, as we passed it, I had to get a good look at this person's face. When I looked at it, it looked back at me. And what I saw chilled me to the bone. In this dark, heavy, hooded robe was a being that looked nothing like a human. It had brownish green scales with a short snout, and its eyes were large and blackish that glistened in the sun. It was unmistakable, even at about 100 feet away. It looked right at me with no expression. It wasn't carrying anything, nor did it have any equipment with it, and was walking slow and awkward as if it were looking for something. I was scared to death, especially when it looked right at me. I thought maybe we should pull over and confront this thing, but honestly I was frozen and we kept driving. I had asked my friend if she had seen what I had seen and her 12-year-old son in the back of the car, and they verified the same thing. Again, I'm just looking to see if what I saw could be a reptilian, and if that is what other people report seeing. I really wish I would have pulled over and went back to get some evidence or a picture, but after reading some articles on reptilians, I feel I made a wise choice. I read that there may be entrances to their habitats in rural areas that may be unseen or hidden from humans. That may indicate that there may be an entrance by Los Banos or Los Banos. If you live in the general area, feel free to correct me in the comments below. Anyways, so they're headed off the I-5 going south. I'm not sure if other vehicles traveling down the road with us witnessed this sighting, but it did happen, and I'm willing to swear an oath on it. I also had unusual experiences that happened when I was a child that I believe was contact with gray aliens, which is foggy, but I have some clear recollection and memories of some incidences where I may have been abducted. My mother can vouch for that and has some insight on that, but that's another subject. This is the first time I have seen a being like this. Again, I am reporting this to hopefully gain some help to determine if what I saw yesterday could have been the real deal, and I respectfully ask for discretion in this matter. Thank you for your time, and I hope you can help me. Lon then goes on to note that he had found a similar encounter statement at New Fork, the National UFO Reporting Center, and on Reddit, as well as being informed that a report was also made to MUFON, although that could not be verified. Addendum: Peter Davenport of New Fork, the National UFO Reporting Center, then added the following in regards to the encounter. We spoke via telephone with the witness on 2 occasions, and we were impressed by his eloquence and apparent sincerity. We suspect that he is a very good witness and highly reliable. We have invited his friend and her son to submit additional reports, and we have invited the source of this report to submit an illustration of what the face looked like. He reports that the creature had a prominent snout like that of a dog, and that it had scales on its skin. The witness states that he was formerly a member of the U.S. military. Alright, and that's our encounter. And reptilians, I happen to agree with the guy. They're supposed to be, from what I hear, very hostile, dangerous species. I've never had an experience myself. And also, if the legends are right, they might actually live underneath the earth. I always say, I don't have all the answers. Who am I to say that's not true? Definitely know there's hollow earth theory, reptilians. They're reported often. We also know that the Hopi creation myth states that they came from the ant people underground. I also found it interesting that he's had experiences with both Greys and reptilians, because if I'm remembering correctly, Dulce Base, the deeper you go, it was filled with Greys and reptilians, and they were doing sick, twisted experiments on people. And I think it was reported that the reptilians were even eating people. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff to think about. Very interesting encounter, and I'm honestly happy that the guy didn't go back and try and confront it, because it could have ended badly for everyone, including the child. On a less serious note, I had a random thought as I was researching the encounter. Do you think different races of extraterrestrials will fight each other over the right to abduct a specific person? In this case, would the Greys and the reptilians fight each other if they really wanted to get to a single person? And on top of that, I was thinking, because I'm a Florida boy, how uncomfortable it must have been to be that hot. But reptiles are cold-blooded, and if we're following that logic, it might make sense that a reptilian would have to be bundled up even in direct sunlight to stay incredibly warm so he just doesn't die. I don't know, it's just a weird thought I had as I was thinking it over. I also happened to come across this cool little fact as I was doing research on Los Banos, the location, because I wanted to find out just how close it was to Dulce, New Mexico. Turns out a member of the Manson family, Susan Atkins, attended the local high school there before she joined the family and killed a bunch of people. Now, as far as distance from Dulce, New Mexico, it's roughly 1,000 miles, but I'm gonna post the picture. It's a straight line if you walk across the desert. Literally, you guys are gonna see the picture. It's a straight line, and that's fascinating. Alright, that's all I have on this encounter, but I'm going to link the article below if you'd like to read it and perhaps continue with the research that I started. This was a very interesting, not too terrifying, but I can imagine it being terrifying if I experienced it in person, but just reading it, I've heard scarier encounters, but this was just interesting because of all the pieces that can seemingly connect to it. But maybe I'm just finding things that I'm going out of my way to look for. You know what they say. So let me know what you think down below. If you have an account or personal encounter of anything odd and unexplained, whether it be ghostly visitors, a sinister stranger, cryptid or unknown entity encounters, demonic or angelic visitation, extraterrestrial contact, or anything else unexplained, feel free to contact me with your account by sending an email to designatedxshow@gmail.com. See you in the next one. Peace.